Now, if you think the fall colors are arriving earlier than usual this season, you're not alone. A hot, dry summer is the reason why the leaves on trees are turning early. Here with more on how the dry conditions are impacting Atlantic Canadian forests is Dr. Anthony Taylor, an Associate Professor of Forest Ecology and Management at UNB in Fredericton. Good morning.
Morning, Crystal.
So we've had a very dry summer. We're seeing the leaves changing color early. We've had more wildfires than usual. To what degree is this the new normal because of climate change?
Well, I think human-caused climate change has certainly had a hand in it, and I hope it doesn't become the new normal. But it's been an extraordinary year climate-wise in the Maritimes. Over the summer, most of the region experienced half the amount of normal precipitation, and even parts of the region received less than a quarter of the amount of normal precipitation. And so that on its own would have a drastic effect on the forest and farming in the region. But when you combine that with warmer than average temperatures, that really exasperates the problem.
Yes, your focus is on forest management strategies. Let's talk about this hot, dry summer. How has it impacted the forests?
Oh, I'm sure citizens around the region could see many of the effects on the forest already. I mean, one of the most obvious impacts would be the severe wildfire season that we experienced in Atlantic Canada. You take places like New Brunswick have seen like 5 times the amount of area burnt, compared to the 10-year average. And in Nova Scotia, there's been over 8,500 hectares burnt, which is more than 20 times the 10-year average. And Newfoundland is a similar situation. And those severe fire situations are primarily a consequence of the dry, warm conditions that we experienced this summer. So
Mhm.
that's the most obvious impact would be the wildfires themselves. But I'm sure a lot of citizens have also noticed early leaf color change and leaf drop, in southern Nova Scotia, even as early as late July, early August.
Yes, no, everyone's noticed there have been big changes this year. What do you think we can do to sort of mitigate the effects of these sorts of climate change issues?
Oh, it's such a big question. I mean, I guess at the core of that question is that we need to take climate change more serious in terms of mitigating climate change. At the core of this issue is climate change, and so reducing the greenhouse gases that we produce and we burn would be the biggest issue. I think that instances like this summer, they give us as a society a taste of what's to come if we don't start taking climate change more serious than what we're doing right now.
Yeah, now you've been studying climate change and its impact on forests for many years, I'm sure. So in your experience, have you seen a significant change in tree health over the years?
I haven't noticed so much over the climate change that we've experienced so far, not so much an impact of climate on the health of the trees, other than we do have a number of colder adapted conifer tree species, balsam fir being one of them in our region, um, that seems to be impacted by climate change. We published a study a couple years ago on just after one of the last significant droughts that we had in 2017. And the year following that drought, there was widespread mortality of balsam fir across the region, and so that was related to the drought and likely related to climate change. Other though impacts of climate change on the forest themselves and on the trees would be the effect of climate on the prevalence of insect species, particular things like hemlock woolly adelgid that's impacting hemlock trees now in Nova Scotia. That's a non-native tree insect species that normally would be kept to the south of us due to cold winter temperatures, but with warming winters, that makes the climate here more permissible to that insect.
Well, for sure, and I know that when the insects are there, that affects the agricultural yields, and when the forests are hurting, that affects the wildlife, and then all of these, it's cyclical, goes round and round. Anthony, we really appreciate your time this morning. Thank you so much for your thoughts.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
And your morning Atlantic is going to take a break now. It is now 7:26. We'll be right back after this.